All right. What is up? What is up, YouTube boxing family? Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go check on my stream to make sure that my levels are good for my audio. I'll be right back. All right, everything's all set. So yeah, what is up, guys? It is KRAD7435 here. I'm back at it with another good live stream for you guys today. I will be having Miss Adelaida Ruiz, aka La Cobra. She's based out of California. She's, I believe, in the super flyweight division, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I will be having her today. I'll just be, having a regular conversation. She should be here, and hopefully we can get everything settled. But yeah, salute to everybody in the chat, whoever comes through, and yeah, hopefully we can get things put together. So yeah, I will put this on the Instagram for any of you that are on the Instagram. I kind of wish YouTube had like a link, like to, well, I guess like for StreamYard, like I wish like StreamYard had like a collaboration tool where you can like just stream to Instagram and go live at the same time using YouTube. Like I think that would just make things like a little bit easier. But yeah, hopefully things can be a little bit easier. But yeah, I'll just wait for her to come and yeah. Um I'd say until then I'll just give you guys some boxing news that I've been hearing about. I believe Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin is now officially set. Not sure on the date yet, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to happen sometime in early November. Um, I think that's going to be pretty interesting to have it in November. At least that'll open up the season for sports a lot bigger, and hopefully that'll be a good fight while it lasts. And yeah, man, like I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, be sure to share this live, and I'll do what I have to do to make sure everything's good on my end. But yeah, everything else is going pretty good. For those of you that don't know, I will be going to the Richardson Hitchens versus Zepeda fight. That's coming up in a couple weeks down in Orlando, Florida, and I will be basically working, as like quote unquote media to collaborate with Mobox and No Problem. So for those of you that probably don't know, I figured I share the news, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, like I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think Richie he should get the win, but something just tells me that Jose Zepeda's power might play a huge factor in that fight. And I don't know if Richie has ever been in that position to fight against a really top tier fighter in Jose Zepeda, as far as like facing a puncher. But I think he should do fine. I think Richie's a very good fighter. I don't see that many people really messing with him. But yeah, he got tons of skills. I would definitely favor him in that fight. But yeah, hopefully we can definitely see a good matchup. I'm definitely looking forward to Sandy Ryan versus Jessica McCaskill. That should be a good fight. All right, here we go. I think we have her. All right, let's go. All right, here we go.
But I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, no. Like it's all good. No. How's everything?
I'm good. Just finishing up here at the gym right now.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for coming by. I guess I'll ask you the first question. Just tell the audience who you are and how'd you get into boxing?
Um, well, my name is Adelaida La Cobra Ruiz. I am a professional boxer. I live here in Los Angeles, California. I'm undefeated at the moment. I'm holding the WBC interim world champion title at super flyweight. And the way I got into boxing, well, I was always around boxing since I was a little girl because my brothers used to box. They were amateur fighters. So I was always up and down with my dad. And my sister decided to join, so I kind of joined and I followed after she joined the boxing.
Oh, nice, nice. That's a pretty interesting story. I was gonna say like as far as like your style goes, like you have more of like a pretty heavy, seasoned professional style. Like it doesn't seem like that the amateur style was really there.
No, well, well, yeah, I did 39 boxing amateur fights, but I've always been kind of like a brawler. Uh, Most of my amateur fights were referee stop contests, so I never really did that Olympian style amateur. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've known like several other people that I've been around like ever since I got into boxing. Because for me, like I'm from Albany, New York, and I ran to a fighter by the name of Abraham Nova, if you know him. And I actually first got into my very first boxing gym out in Albany with like I believe his name is Tony Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
He he basically runs his operations at the Albany Boxing Gym right up on Quayle Street. But he's actually connected with Mike Tyson, in which he used to be part of his team for I believe 9 years. And Tony, he's been training like as far as like a bunch of very like old school amateur to like professional fighting styles with like various different fighters. But I would say like as far as today's like climate for boxing, there's like more talent that's been branching out to a very different wide variety of like different fighters.
Yeah, you're right. I see that. I see it. It's growing and it's changing, and it's more of a I want not. I'm not gonna say safer, but I think they're taking less punishment and still winning with their style that they're doing.
I was gonna ask you a boxing history question. Do you know the highest amount of rounds that was ever fought in a boxing match back in the old days?
No, I already knew I was gonna fail. I don't really know much about boxing history.
Yeah, I believe the most highest round fight, to my best knowledge, was I believe back in the 1940s, if not maybe 1800s, where I believe the highest amount of rounds that was ever fought was like I think 47 rounds.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
yeah,
Oh wow! That's crazy. I
yeah,
only did it with 15 rounds before. That's it. I don't. Besides that, I'm not really good at my boxing history.
yeah. I actually mutually know Tevin Farmer's trainer, Chino Rivas, and I believe Tevin Farmer had come out he just recently made like a post not too long ago where he's actually I believe he's related to Joe Gans. He was like a really old time fighter back then. During I would probably say like after Jack Johnson's era, but I know he was like a really like well known fighter. He had over like 200 plus on professional fights, and I believe he was like one of what the very first early Black American fighters that actually got like a title back then.
Oh wow! Nice, nice, nice.
As far as your career goes, what's like the plan that you're trying to do as far as getting world championships, right?
Yes, well, that is the plan. My plan was to be undisputed in different weight classes, starting off with 115, going up to 118, 122, and then 126. I don't know if it's gonna be able to. I'm gonna be able to do that right now. Me and my coach, which is my dad, my trainer, we're possibly, we're thinking about going back. We're going up to 118 and just letting go of the 115 class, just because it's not going anywhere. Meaning we've been waiting too long for these fights to happen, and they just seem not to happen. Agreements don't happen. It's taking too long. So I think I'm gonna end up moving up to 118. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with the sport. I've never been like a fan of sanctioning bodies, and like I think honestly, like if it was set up with like a tournament instead of championships, like basically like in theory, like the best would automatically beat each other out, and like the fighter
Yeah.
good shouldn't have to get certain political preferences to get up to like a certain stage in their careers where they don't have to fight as many tough oppositional names.
Exactly. I just don't get it myself. I wish, like you, like, it could be like more like a tournament, like working on, like, why not let this person fight if they're already there? I just don't get it. It's been what, 2 years, 2 years trying to fight, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, because I was actually going to ask, like, as far as like the inactivity, like, is it just more to do with like the fighters just not wanting to step up to fight you, or is it just more to do with like, I guess, like the business overall, right?
It's, I guess it's more like the business overall, because I mean, I'm there, I'm willing to fight, and they're fighting themselves, but they're defending their title with people that is not even at the top 5 nor the top 10. It's like, how are you defending your title? I was next, like, I'm ranked, I'm below you. How are you defending your title with somebody else? Like, I don't get it,
Actually,
so
um, I was going to add on like a good point. Gary Russell, when he fought Vasyl Lomachenko, Lomachenko was not supposed to fight Gary Russell for the WBO title at 126. After he lost to Orlando Salido, by the WBO's rules, you're not supposed to re-challenge for the same belt after coming off of like a loss. So what the WBO decided to do, they actually decided to break the rules and give Lomachenko a extra shot to fight Gary Russell for that title. So in theory, Gary Russell, he should have fought somebody else that was like coming like basically the next available ranked opponent was supposed to fight
yeah.
Gary Russell for the belt, not like on not yeah. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
no, Checo. So basically, they just did their own rules for that fight for him.
yeah, pretty much because if it was like any other fighter, they would just automatically go by the rules. And actually, even take a look at Jermell Charlo. He's trying to move up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, but the WBO wanted to play politics to say, well, you will be undisputed until the bell rings, and then Tim Tszyu, aka his mandatory, will automatically get the belt. So I just
Wow.
don't find that to be fair because it's like if Canelo Alvarez, if he was able to do that, then why can't Charlo do it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's very frustrating. It's they just pick and choose, and it's crazy. It's crazy because we don't have a say. We can't do nothing about it, but just play with the game and go with it.
yeah, because I was gonna say like as far as how you started out your pro career, was it really tough? Like how difficult was it?
To start my pro career, not really, because not really. I mean, I was. Ugh, meaning, as a fighting way, no, it wasn't. But starting off selling tickets and doing it all by myself, yeah, that part was hard. Not the fighting. It was the more the getting promoters to have me and promote me in their club shows, because when I started, they didn't want to. They were like, no, she's a female. We don't really really don't get female fighters unless she sells tickets. And we're like, we're going to sell tickets. We're willing to sell tickets, not a problem. So once I started selling tickets, and they were seeing like, oh, she's a seller, she could sell tickets. That's when I was like, okay, they opened the doors for me. Besides that, it would have been so much complicated for me. So yeah, they make it hard. Not the fighting again. It's more of the what's happening in the other side.
Yeah, because like I just find it weird that a lot of fighters bring up that point a lot because it's like if you're having a promoter that's supposed to promote you, by the economics, by its own laws, like that promoter's supposed to give you the full promotion, not just, cut you down and then make it harder for you. Like in theory, like you shouldn't have to do the work. You should just show up to the ring and fight and
And
just basically
fight.
go home.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Even, having to do our own PR work, the promoter's supposed to do that for you. Us promoting ourselves out there is like you're signed. You have me signed. Why are you not promoting me? Why are you not putting me out there? So, or getting me a fight 2 weeks in advance. It's like, oh, we still don't have a fighter for you, but you're fighting September, let's say 30th, but it's September 15th. You still don't have an opponent. How are you supposed to promote this fight? It's like, you're the promoter. You're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be on top of this. So yeah, they make it so hard for you. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, that's crazy, man, because I used to wrestle back in high school, and at least for wrestling, you actually knew what you were going to do as far as like getting an opponent. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like they have it set up in a way where, obviously two schools will go at it, but you have, a potential opponent that's lined up for you. And
Yeah.
even in tournaments too, like you don't know who you're going to fight, but you do know that this guy could potentially fight you if he or she wins.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I think it's really hard for a boxer to actually train knowing, hey, you might fight or we might not find an opponent for you. So it's like you're really not you're not focused to, hey, I'm gonna fight with this person. I don't know, it's really hard to go at 100 not knowing who you're fighting with or if the fight's even gonna happen. You get me? Like that's really hard. And these promoters are like, oh well, you have got to stay ready just in case an opportunity comes. There's no way. Besides boxing, boxing's not all my life. I do work, or there's people that work full time because unfortunately, boxing doesn't feed them. It's you can't just fight. No, you can't just train to train, not knowing okay, you might fight, we can find you a fighter, but you might fight, just stay ready. You're telling me I have to cut weight, stay ready in case an opponent comes? So what if it doesn't? It's really hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, a very good example of that was when I was talking with I think Ryan Pino in the past. He's a Puerto Rican fighter based out of New York City, but he was telling me some really messed up stories where he was given fights within, I think, like less than like a week's notice, and
Mm.
it was just basically scummy business to the point where he just didn't know like which avenue was like the proper avenue to take because either the promotion will screw you over or the management will try to find ways to just basically play like phone tag with you to say, oh well, this opponent might be your opponent coming up, but then 2 3 days later that same person will just say to you, oh well, that fight's off, and therefore we don't know when the next available guy will be ready for you. And like to me, like I don't like that, as a consumer, because I'm paying money to go see you, but I want you to basically be active, all year round.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's a really hard business, and I see it on both ends, but it's hard. It's really hard. It's not nice. It's there's a lot of BS out there.
I was gonna say, in a perfect world where boxing was a highly paid sport and you had everything in your control, what would you do to run your own career?
To run my own career, what would I do? I would promote myself a little bit more. I mean, if I had the way, I would promote my fight. Let's say I'm fighting for a title fight. Um, I would let like the people know, hey, I'm in advance, maybe 2 months ahead of time, 2 months and a half, 3 months, promote it out there, put it on billboards, kind of sort of what they did with Ronda Rousey. Like they didn't know who this person was, but she was in every billboard you could think of, and it made people want to look her up. Like, who's this chick? So I think that's what I would do. I would promote myself more out there, fly myself out more to events so people could know me and know who I am, know my story, just promoting myself, because I think nowadays that's what you need to kind of be somebody, get people to know who you are, and then they will follow. You need people, you need supporters that like like your style, like your boxing, but how are they going to know who you are if you don't promote yourself out there, if you don't put yourself out there? So I would definitely promote myself more so I could be able to sell more and people could support more. And then we'll just the training. I mean, the training to me, I love boxing. I love doing it. It's not a problem. I stay in the gym always, but it's what I was saying. The training and training for a fight is two different things. But I mean, the training is easy for me. That's something. It's just more of the PR work, the promoting, and everything that I would do differently.
Yeah, I was going to suggest a good idea, but I don't know if it's a good, you know, like I guess like a good innovation, but I think like there should be a kind of like a community based social media driven influencer page to get fighters like yourself or any up and coming fighter or any fighter that is good now. So therefore, every time when that fighter fights, like everybody can just go, share your videos or share anything that you have. So therefore, you already have like a base, a set of consistent advertising. So therefore, like that could just give you the upper edge to have like more people know who you are rather than just let a promoter do it for you. Because like to me at least, like I just don't see promoters being beneficial, because it's like if I have to give you a part of my money for me to be successful, then I feel like I'm like to me, like I feel like I'm not keeping most of my money, because that's a financial risk to your career long term, and then the consumers don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So therefore, I don't see that being a complete win-win for the
Hmm.
sport. And actually, even back then, with like all the best female fighters that were being promoted back then, they weren't doing their own research on who was basically managing their career. I even watched Chrissy Martin's documentary
Oh
where
yeah.
she got screwed over by multiple people, and she was like I think she said like later on, like down the road in her recent like documentary interviews, that she said that it like if she had known the business aspect of what was going on, during her career, she definitely would have moved a lot better. And I think that's like the main problem with a lot of fighters, that heavily rely off of people to be controlling their financial decisions that will potentially stagger their career.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm just thinking because I was just watching the on Netflix the George Foreman movie.
Oh
And
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, so yeah, he also got screwed over when it came down to his money, and it's like it's crazy. It seems
yeah,
like it's something that goes, and mostly all boxers go through, and it's crazy. It's sad. Like we all go through it different in different ways and different yeah in different ways, but basically we get screwed over.
yeah. I was going to add on top of that, George Foreman made a good point as well in his I believe his interview with Brandon Marshall. He's that former NFL player. He has that YouTube channel called I Am Athlete. But I saw that conversation that he had with Brandon and some other guy sitting next to him. But George was saying like, if he didn't let the people that were controlling his finances throughout his career, and he actually was more educated coming into the sport, and on top of that, if he just had like a better educational mindset where he wasn't getting into a lot of trouble outside of boxing, because prior to that he wasn't really making good choices, and he was basically living a really dangerous lifestyle. But he was basically saying that if he had everything that he knew now to translate it back then George Foreman's like biography of who he is would have been like a much different story, because I think it was just more so due to just not being educated, like to be self reliant versus letting others dictate how your life is going to be run.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So hopefully me, I could learn everything I need to learn. That's what I tell my son. Hopefully I could learn everything I need to learn. And you know, so if you ever become a professional boxer, you don't have to go through what I've been through, and get effed over by people. You have me, and I'll kind of know the game a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say like like as far as like your goal after boxing, do you have any goals that you want to do, right?
I do. Well, I well, I already coach, but I want to become a full time coach, stay in the boxing game, and if possible, become a manager, just to kind of not manage, to manage boxers, or an advisor or something has to do with boxing, just so these people don't get effed over. But like there's so many snakes out there that just you know take advantage of these boxers that want to do something with their career, want to make it through boxing and make something of themselves. And because of their dreams that they have, they just screw them over. I kind of want to be able to guide them. So that's why I'm trying to learn more of the game. And I feel like maybe my purpose is to guide other people so they won't go through what I've been through or what others been through that I know of. But definitely stay in boxing as a coach. I want to become a full time coach. Hmm.
Yeah, I kind of wish that there was more markets to dedicate to teach you, the business of boxing on how to become a judge or how to become a manager or how to become a cut man or anything like that. Because for me, like I was actually trying to figure out how to like figure out how to become a judge, and I found out that there's really no market for it, but
Yeah.
there is a particular avenue to become like a judge for amateur boxing, but as far as like getting up there to elevate yourself to the professional level, promoters, politically select judges to judge their um, like to judge their own fights. But on top of that, it's like it's not like an easy way to just ticket yourself in. It's pretty much like you said, there's too many snakes. There's too many red market corners, I would say. Where people bring too much mafia like attitude that doesn't really make let the sport look any better.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I wish there was more guidance and people that could advise or, schooling so people could learn, but there's none. You kind of got to learn on your own and know the game out there by yourself.
I was gonna ask, there's some people that try to argue to say that boxing could be better if it was unionized. I wanted to get your take on that.
Unionize. I never thought about it. Maybe.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. That would be a really good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a good partial good idea, but as far as like a long term like effect, having like the bad actors that will use it as like a means of political like a subversion to get certain like how should I say like certain things in their power that would allow them to wiggle in certain rules that they want for certain unions. Like I think like in principle that could be a great idea, but I think as far as like marketizing it where everybody can get paid fairly. And as far as let the fighters go, they should be, paid first, and then everybody else gets paid last. And I think like maybe like another good idea is to maybe marketize like I guess like sports leagues because I was even thinking maybe like a good idea to do that is like kind of like what you see with like I don't know if you saw that new team combat league right for boxing right.
No.
uh, well, like it's like a team combat,
Oh
boxing
yes,
league.
yes. No, yeah. I lied. Yes, I know what you're
Um,
talking about. Okay. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Like I was thinking, like instead of having that model, if you watch that Team Combat League sport league that was being ran by Chuck Norris back in the past, where he actually had like teams, but they went like X amount of rounds to advance their fighters to get to the top. But I think as far as keeping it to like a individual level, it could be set up like the NBA where everybody fights, but it's basically set up in a tournament where you're automatically getting fights, but you're fighting good competition, and every time you beat the higher competition, you get more bonuses and more financial, promotion.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that would be really good. That would be different, but that would be good.
I was gonna ask, as far as your top venues that you would like to headline one day, if you had the opportunity, where would you like to fight?
For sure, the Madison Square. That's one. Um, and here in LA, I would want to fight at the Forum in Inglewood. That's one that I would like to do. Vegas, I would like to do the T-Mobile. But yeah, those are three that I've thought about.
I want to see you I want to see you come down here in Florida, especially out in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium or the Amway Center out in Orlando.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't really know any. I don't think I don't really know of venues out there, so that would be nice to go out to Florida.
Or even Texas, AT&T Stadium.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. I never really thought about it. Those the ones I said is just three that I've thought in the past, but I've never really, you know, looked out there at more venues or stadiums to fight in.
Yeah, I was going to ask, as far as like West Coast goes, which is better, West Coast or East Coast?
On what?
Anything, as far as like the culture, as far as everything that, it has to offer.
Well, I can't really say because I've never really been out in the East Coast. Um, I don't really travel out. I've never really been out there. I've, I lived over here my whole life, so I would for sure say over here. But I don't really know. I've never been out to the East Coast, so I can't say East Coast or West Coast. You know, the
Yeah,
West Coast
like,
is where
yeah,
I've been my whole life.
yeah, like I never been out West Coast. My friends want me to go out to California, but I keep telling them, I'm probably not going until their like economy gets, fixed up.
Hmm. Harley, get down.
Um, yeah,
Wait.
yeah. I was going to ask some final questions. As far as the like influences as like women's boxing is growing, what would you want to do for women's boxing when uh those people that do look up to you now want to see what you bring to the table once your career is over, right?
Yeah. Well, again, once my career's over, I would love to be an advisor or a manager for fighters, or someone they could just go to and ask questions, or help. I just want to be able to be there and be able to promote fighters. Like if I have the possibility to, hey, they're fighting, let me promote it myself, let me tell people about them. That's kind of basically what I did with the because not everybody knows a lot of female boxers. They don't give it a chance. So anytime there's like a big fight happening of women boxing, I put it out there. I let people know, hey, there's gonna be this good fight this week, and you guys want to watch a good fight? Tune in to Zone. Tune in and this. Tune in and that. It's gonna be a really good fight. Tune in. Like I try my best so people could realize, like, female boxers have really good fights. Like we go toe to toe. We stand there and fight. A lot, something that a lot of female boxers don't do now. They don't like to receive punishment. I don't think nobody does, but I think a lot of women have a lot of heart where we don't want to lose, so we're just gonna go at it, and even if we're hurt, we're just gonna continue. So you'll be standing up on your toes trying to watch that fight. So I really try my best even now to put out there and support all these female boxers. Like I don't envy anybody that's doing any better than me. Like I talk to all these champions, and even at my weight class, like I have all of this respect for all these girls, and I just want to support, like just take it out, like let people know, like watch this fight, look into it. Like you don't know this female fighter, you should look into her. So kind of just advise them and promote them out there more. If I have the ability to do so, I'll do it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think honestly that like in my honest opinion, I feel that you should have already been there next to Amanda Serrano or Katie Taylor or Chantel Cameron or anybody out of that, line of, fighters. And I think like that definitely needs to be championed a lot more because, there's so much great talent out there. And I think the women are doing a lot better, like as far as performing, great fights to the audiences compared to men's boxing. Like I think like if you had it set with like the same setup for 3 minute rounds and x amount of rounds, like I think women would easily be given a lot more shine. And I think it's really good that females like Amanda Serrano, she's actually going up against the system in boxing where she's actually wanting to go 12 rounds now against Daniela Ramos. And
Yes.
I think that's a really great historical moment to create like a massive renaissance in this current age right now for the sport.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like what Amanda Serrano's doing because not only that, Amanda Serrano, like I don't feel like she envies anybody. I think that she's all for the women's sport. She's gone through a lot. Um, it took her years. I mean, we and the amateurs, I think were fighting at the same time. I left boxing for almost 10 years. She stood. I think what she has worked for. And she deserves everything has at the moment. But I love the fact that she is all for women. She's doing this for not herself only, but for all women out there. So I love that about her, and I love what she's doing. It's awesome. It's really good.
Yeah, speaking of certain female fights, I wanted to put my matchmaking hat on, but even though that you're Mexican, but I gotta ask you this because I got Puerto Rican bloodline. Can we get a Mexico versus Puerto Rico matchup one day?
Wait, what?
I said, can we get a Mexico versus Puerto Rico matchup from you one day?
Oh, hopefully, yes. That's my dream fight. Well, not mine. It's my dad's fight. His dream will be for one day for me and Amanda to fight once I go up to 126.
Oh, nice,
So,
nice.
that would be a dream fight for my dad. Um, my amateur, my amateur career, I did it at 125, so it's not a problem. I usually spar with bigger fighters, weight classes than me, so it's not a problem. It's just going up in weight class little by little, and my goal, what it is to go up little by little. But that would be a dream fight with Serrano and me. And we kind of put it out there, and she's like, "Yeah, hit me up whenever you're at my weight class." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So hopefully one day that could happen.
Yeah, I actually know this one other fighter. She's trained by Ada Velez. I don't know if you know her,
I
Rosalinda Rodriguez, and I
Yes.
I actually wanted to see you and her fight because I think that would have been a great matchup.
Oh yeah, I think they wanted to make that matchup a couple of years ago. I think that but I don't know what happened. I honestly don't know what happened. I know it was between her manager and not my manager, my promoter. Something was going on there. And then, oh, I think the weight class. I was fighting at 115. I think she fights at 118. But I'm going up to 118, so maybe that will happen.
Yeah, because I know that she fights on BKFC now. She just recently fought on BKFC Prospects, but I don't see why that fight can't happen right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be a great matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like as far as like your highest weight class that you can go like let's just say like fantasy wise like if you were able to take on those big names, like who would they be if you had it, like all like in your control, right?
Mm, my highest weight class. Honestly, I think it's up to 126. I don't think I could do 135. Maybe I could, which it's Katie Taylor, right? 135.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I would be pushing it a little bit too much. But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if I had the ability to do so and be able to go up to 135, I don't see why not.
Yeah, like I kind of wish that there should be like, catch weight tournaments for that. I think that would be awesome.
I
Like just
know that
yeah.
tournament thing that you said, that would be so cool. That would be really like that would be like really dope if they were to come up with a tournament where these champions had no way to kind of whoever's in that tournament going up and up and up to beat. I mean, you got to beat the best to be the best, right? Like, how can you hold up a title and say you're the best when you really haven't fought the best? That's just me. So yeah, that would be good, like a little tournament happening.
Yeah, also to add on top of that, like I think like the more people that get into tournaments and they keep on winning them, at least that gives you notoriety more because versus having like a championship belt and just trying to create rankings for it, that doesn't make any sense. It's better to just get everybody into like a tournament. Kind of think of it like, NCAA March Madness. Like no team is going to make it to the Final Four. Like you actually have
Yeah,
to grind to get to the Final Four before you see somebody at the finals. So
yeah,
I think that would be a tremendous idea because one, that gives you more money, and two, that gives you, like a fight every single time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to wrap things up as far as like things that you wish that you should have done before you started boxing. Like, did you have any other careers that you wanted to do to elevate yourself before the sport?
Well, like I said, I did stop boxing at the age of 17, didn't come back almost 9, 10 years later. So I kind of did what I wanted to do in between that time, which was had my kids. I have my family now. I have teenagers with me. Um, I went to school. I have my job. I work in the medical field. Like I pretty much, I still want to go back to school and do more. Um, but I mean, I did what I needed to do within that time. Like it's not like I've been boxing all these years and I haven't had time to become a mom or go to school. Like I did what I had to do in those years, and then I came back. So
Yeah. I just wish that boxing was like, any other major sport where you can do more stuff, to like look into as far as like another career. And I kind of felt like, that was always of the detriment with fighters that, got damaged badly in the sport because they didn't have like a plan B nor a plan C or anything like that. And that's always kind of put people down for them to think that, boxing is always going to be your career. But it's like, no, that's not true. There's always plenty of other great careers that you can go to and make tons of money in. But it's not about money. It's all about, passion at the end of the day.
yeah, and that's something that I also myself tell these kids here at the gym, or any kid that comes to me to ask for advice is have a plan B. Have a plan B. It's boxing could happen. Anything could happen in boxing. Anything could happen with boxing, and you just have to have something to fall on. Be- You have to. You have to.
Yeah, um, I definitely like agree. It's just more for me, like I've always been, a believer in being a mastery of trades. So therefore, educating yourself is always the best thing to get to the highest level. Not just
Hmm.
focus on one thing and just put your eggs into one basket and just hope that everything will be great for you. I think everything requires more skill set to be more successful as you get older.
Yeah. No, I agree on that too.
Yeah, like I think that's about it. Do you have any final words before we get up out of here?
Um, no, not really. Just make sure you guys follow me on my Instagram, support me at La Cobra underscore Ruiz, Adelaida Ruiz on Facebook and on. No, I don't have a YouTube. Well, I have a YouTube, but I don't post on it. But yeah, just make sure to follow me on Instagram. That would be great. Support female fighters, support boxers. We go through a lot on the back end that people don't see. People just see the success or the failure when it happens. Like there's more to that than anybody else could, like you guys could see. Like there's a lot. So just support and have respect for all boxers.
All right, I appreciate it. Like I had a great time. I'd like to have you back on,
Sure.
again, and yeah, just keep me updated with your next fight, and I'll do my best to share everything.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you for
All right,
having me. Okay.
all
Bye
right.
bye.
Well, thank you. Oh, all right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Great show. I hope you guys share the video. Do what you got to do, and I'll put it up on my page. Huge big shout out to Adelaida, Ruiz, and yeah, I will get this put up on my page, and I'll see you guys later. Huge big shout out to everybody that's supported the channel, and yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with any more news that I have with more boxing news. And yeah, one last time, uh, huge big thank you to the family that's been rocking with me. So see you guys later. Here's the outro, and huge big thank you to Adelaida Ruiz for coming onto the show. All right, I'll see you guys. Here's the outro.